Hello there friends, here I am in the wonderful forest. I like to come out and walk and talk, mostly every day as you know from my videos. And when I come out into the forest there's always so much to see, but often we're spending so much time in our thoughts and thinking, a little bit like going into a library to appreciate the silence but not really reading any books. Maybe being slightly inspired by the titles of the books on the spine of the book. Before 2012, before December the 21st, 2012, there was a lot of prophecies, conspiracies, theories, ideas that the world was going to end. And a lot of people began to prepare. The whole race of people called the preppers, building underground bunkers and storing tons of food and all of this crazy stuff to escape any kind of massive survival event, any massive apocalypse. Okay, there's always a probability of a meteorite landing on our heads or something, the world exploding, but there's not a great deal we can do about that. But the interesting thing is that a lot of people started thinking about tomorrow. What happens if suddenly there was no government, or there was some kind of civil uprising, or basically, what if I was on my own, or me and my friends, or me and my family was on our own to look after ourselves. Nobody to look after us. No police, no military, no water supply, no electricity. All of these things. Suddenly, the realization for the basic human needs becomes very prevalent. First of all, shelter and heat. People die more of hypothermia than anything else in a survival situation. Secondly, water. Water is really important. Good, clean water. So water purification is a massive issue. Food, which is not so much an immediate necessity. People can survive for quite a few days without food. But eventually food and nutrition, and other part is health. When you come out into the woods, into a survival situation, when you're on your own, health, safety is first. If you cut your finger in the woods, you've got a long way to run. Your work's stopped, so you have to really look 3 or 4 times at what you're doing and think of all the things that could go wrong before you start doing them. If you eat something, if you become ill in the woods, or in a situation where you have no help, it may be in an urban situation or suburban or totally out of nowhere. But at the end of the day, if there's nobody going to look after you and your friends and family, then it's good to know how to do it yourself. So all of this time that we spend browsing in nature, like just thinking and not really observing the nature, not reading the books, not reading the contents of this like natural library, we could spend this time without having to worry about the end of the world and stuff. When I first heard about this new wave of prepping, being prepared, survival and that, I thought, welcome to my world. Not because I'm paranoid about the world ending, but because I was raised to survive. As children, we went out onto the moors and went climbing and camping and caving, and it was always important to take a survival box with us. It was always important to know certain survival skills when you're out on any natural environment. And so that's what I would like to maybe do this year as well, is just to walk around the woods, identify plants and find my direction, build shelters, make fire, things like that. On tour as a rock and roller, I've spent enough time sleeping under buses and vans and sleeping in the backs of forests and old shacks and trying to survive. And I'm sure I could have made my life a lot easier with just a few little things in my pocket, a knife and a fire starter, and these little things, So we're going to have a look at the basic aspects of what I think is good to carry around in an urban survival situation and a bushcraft situation. And also, check out some of the channels. Bushcraft, it's not about surviving. Check out Fun in the Woods. Really good laugh, really funny to watch. You know, and a lot of these bushcraft channels that teach you how to make fire and build shelters, they're not scared of the end of the world. They're having a brilliant time out there in the woods, you know. And I think it's great. I think it's great for kids. We used to love playing with fire as kids. You know, I know it sounds like arson, but it isn't. You know, when kids like to play with water and fire, it's kind of learning how the elements work. You know, those kids who didn't play with fire just don't have the same understanding probably of how fire kind of breathes and how you can breathe into it and what things burn and how dangerous it can be. You know, these are the things. These are the things. So yeah, you find a bit of value from this video. I'll try and keep them short. Yeah. So I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching and listening. Cheerio.